not just a temporary satisfaction of the mind, the senses, the body. It comes and goes whether we try or don't try. We're really looking deep inside for happiness, for fulfillment, for understanding, realization of our identity, real identity. Deep within. So this chanting, like any sound vibration, affects us, affects our consciousness. There's different types of music, according to the mood, according to our nature also. We may be attracted to different types of music, and sometimes the music helps to flavor or enhance the particular situation. Sometimes it helps to change our moods. Whatever. Sound vibration is very powerful. Practically it's most powerful of all the vibrations practically. We depend a lot on our vision, etc. But much of our knowledge is obtained through hearing. It's difficult in a material world to be in a vision or to be able to understand that sound, spiritually speaking, sound vibration, seeing, touching, all various ways of accumulating knowledge on the spiritual platform. That distinction is not exactly there. We see, sometimes we say we see through the ears, the oral reception, because what happens is different sound vibrations affect our consciousness. The soul, the individual within, has energy, has, you could say, awareness, has connections with things, and that is through the consciousness, awareness of connection with his body or with the world around us and so on. So different things affect that consciousness, just like air. Air is air, but when it comes into contact with a particular substance, it may take on the flavor of that substance. It may become also cloudy, foggy, different things, but the air remains the air. So the consciousness remains, of the soul, the person, remains, but it becomes, you could say, pervaded by various influences that we come in contact with. And we see through those various, just like if we take a simple example, we see through it myself. Not many of you are wearing glasses. Very few, in fact. I can hardly see any glasses in this room. What's your secret? You've got some good eyes. Contact. Oh. Thank you. I can't see a single pair. Oh, there's one pair of glasses I can see back there. Oh, and another one here. Okay. Too close to see. But you know, if the glasses are like dirty or covered, you know, it's obvious we can't see clearly. If they're tinted green or pink or red or orange or something, we tend to judge everything that, you know, everything's kind of green. And you know whether if it is or isn't, but you kind of see it like so. We all see it through these different coverings in that way. So sound vibration is one of the factors which affects our consciousness or how we see the world. We tend to generally be attracted to sounds which are in accord with our particular nature, or let's say our particular condition, how we're conditioned, whether it's ultimately of any real value or not, but for the time being it fits our particular condition. The spiritual sound vibration may also have that effect, in the sense we like it, it's nice, we feel good, and there may be very nice musical sound vibrations and so on. But it goes deeper than that. It's not just to satisfy the present condition, which it may also do. And if it doesn't, we probably won't stay. Because at the moment, most of our decisions are made on our experience, our nature, that which pleases our present condition, etc. We judge people according to that present condition. Practically everything we discriminate to a certain extent according to our present condition. So we may also do that with spiritual sound vibration in one sense. However, the sound vibrations of which are of a spiritual, which are not directed towards, let's say, fulfillment of material objectives. They're not based upon trying to increase one's material enjoyments, etc. They may do that, but that's not what the purpose is. The purpose is to help us to transcend or to rise above. When you say transcend, it's not a physical meaning. It means within our own consciousness, to see ourselves apart from, or let's say, beyond simply the coverings of this body. We may have had some experience in that regards already. I know, probably you have. Understanding a little bit about us, the I, the person within, seeing ourselves as like a witness to what's going on in the mind and the world around us. It's a soul which is actually experiencing the various effects of this world, good or bad or whatever we call it. It's like watching. If we ever do watch a movie or something, we may get affected by it depending on how much we identify with it. So it's like that with our minds, with the world around us. And most of us in this world, I'm talking necessarily here, but in general, most people very much identify with what they visualize or see on that mental platform. The soul's consciousness is very much affected by what they see on that mental platform, which is the picture of what is going on around us at this moment and in many previous moments, accumulates on the mental plane. And the consciousness is very much basically absorbed on that platform. So we're trying to absorb our consciousness it's amazing because it doesn't actually take one away from this world, but rather we learn to perceive this world, or one does perceive the world in a little different way. One interacts in the same way if necessary, but one sees it in a somewhat different way instead of seeing it as like an object for discrimination or enjoying or this or that. One sees it in a much deeper way. One sees it in a more kind of, spiritual way, a way which is more connected to the real purpose behind it. Instead of seeing ourselves in the center all the time, we start to see the supreme being behind everything also. So this particular mantra especially, there are many mantras which may have different effects, sound vibrations. It doesn't just depend on the sound or the chant, but it's also our receptivity. Like anything we do, it's also depending on how much we take advantage of it, so to speak. Even if you're just listening to something, if you don't really listen, you don't get so much out of it. If you're eating, you don't really get so much out of it if you don't eat properly and you can't digest it properly. Everything's like that, more or less. So, especially with sound vibration. The secret, or a secret of this chanting is to hear. Chanting obviously comes first, there's nothing to hear otherwise. But to hear, sometimes our devotees talk about creating a sacred space, which means there's nothing else interfering. There's so many interferences in this world, especially in big cities like Sydney. There are so many subtle vibrations in the ether, which do affect our consciousness. Sometimes we become very disturbed just by being in the cities or in situations of so much things going on around. And of course we are not just people, but all the various technology and the various radiation, and there's so many things going on which do obviously affect people's health and also their consciousness. So the more one creates sort of like an atmosphere where there's less of that influence, generally speaking, it is a little easier to absorb sound vibration, pure sound vibration. And in most cases, such requirements are there. If any of you have read Bhagavad Gita, do we have Bhagavad Gita here? No? Yeah. Famous Sanskrit spoken by Krishna. I don't have a book here, but in there Krishna describes the process of meditation and yoga and how one has to go to a holy place, a very quiet place, a place where there's no interference. Where can you find such place? It's very hard to find now. And even if we find such place, we're taking our minds with us. You know, you don't take long before you're getting irritated in most cases, and you want to have a cigarette, or you want to go on the internet, or send a text message to somebody, or your stomach's rumbling, or something's happening, you know. It's a very disturbed age we're in. So the sound vibrations in this age, or the mantra which is recommended for this situation, this age we're in, is called Kali Yuga. It means the age of materialism, the age of hypocrisy, and the age of quarrel, and so on. All sorts of, say, not so welcome symptoms there. But in this age, very nicely, Kalera Dosha is this Sanskrit language. Everything is a very ancient language, which now they call it some ancient Indian language, but previously it's not really. It's actually the language of the saints. It's the language of the gods, you could say. It's a very special language which has a different... In fact, there's even a school, I believe it's here in Sydney, which teaches, it's a Western school, teaches Sanskrit language to Western children, nothing to do with us. And they understand that just by learning that language, it actually brings benefit to the individual, helps to develop good qualities, peacefulness, appreciation, sharpness, and so many qualities, material qualities, which are not so easy to find. It has an effect upon us. It's very special. So there's a very interesting, many, but one word, Kaledoshin Devidya. Astiheka Mahanguna, Kirtan Deva Krishna. In this age, Astiheka Mahanguna, there's one wonderful quality in this age, for those who are on the spiritual path, that is simply by chanting this mantra, one can attain perfection even in the middle of chaos, such as major cities in the world today, anywhere practically speaking. But this cuts through those layers of, let's say, contamination, or whatever you wish to call it, in the ether. You can cut through and actually reach the soul. And all we have to do, practically speaking, is try to hear the sound. We may be accustomed to, hearing pleasant music and so on. So that's hopefully a little bit of that may be there. But the main thing is to try to hear the sound of the mantra, the words of the mantra vibrated with the tongue and heard with the ear, purifies our consciousness and helps us to, in the midst of any situation, preliminary things such as not feeling so disturbed, peaceful, happy, etc. But it goes much deeper. That's just surface effects, you could say. But much deeper, we start to open up our awareness of our spiritual existence, and ultimately of that fulfillment of everyone's desire for love. We're aspiring for love, because by nature the being, the living entity, the soul, by nature the quality of the soul is to express love. And in this material world, the nature of this world is that loving propensities are always limited by time, by circumstance. They have their limits. It's natural to try to love, it's natural to be happy. But there are limits in this material atmosphere. This helps us. It may happen quickly, but sometimes it may take a little time. But it helps us to enter into the spiritual, more of a spiritual atmosphere, where the effects of the material atmosphere are not so influential. And one can actually experience a little bit more, let's say, permanent permanent experience, permanent effects, and then eventually start to awaken our actual real love for the, let's say, the source of love. We know him by the name Krishna, and this mantra contains the name of Krishna, and another name of Krishna is Rama. Krishna means all attractive. Rama means the reservoir of pleasure, the source of enjoyment. And Hare is, we could say, is the female aspect of the spiritual absolute truth. Sometimes people think of the spiritual, if they do accept at all a spiritual, let's say, source, it's of a male nature or is of no nature of any particular kind. But as we see male, female mentalities and even forms and so on in every walk of life in this world, because it is resting or it's reflected on the fact that on the spiritual plane those same characteristics basically in a pure state are to be found. So the absolute truth also we say the female aspect, Hare, the internal spiritual energy of the Supreme Lord. So this mantra is to try to help us to appreciate and to experience step by step a little bit of that spiritual internal energy. Right now we're experiencing what's called the external energy, the material energy. That's all. It's a gift. The Lord, in that sense, if you want to say the absolute truth, whatever, has appeared in this world in sound vibration. By sound vibration. And by hearing that sound, we can gradually become purified in consciousness and begin to see things in a different way. See things a little bit more deeper, spiritually. Can begin to appreciate life in everything, in everybody. And not judge people just based upon our condition or their condition, but beyond that. So we welcome you tonight to please join us in this chanting. It's very easy. I think most of you have chanted before or you're familiar with it. It's not a new thing. It may be new to some people, but it's something which is eternal. It may, just like the sun appears in the morning, but the sun is always there. To us it may be, or somebody enters into our room, they were existing before they entered into our room, but to us they've just appeared. So this particular mantra is eternal. Eternal. Actual truth is eternal. Life is eternal. It's just in the material world that spiritual energy is constantly, is transformed and is constantly being, changed. It's always changing. I think George Harrison, he compiled one record, all things must pass. That refers to the material world. The soul doesn't pass. This mantra doesn't pass. We may not be interested, but the mantra remains for anyone who wishes to take advantage. And it's really for the soul. So please try to take advantage this evening of this chanting. Do you go straight into chanting Hare Krishna, or do you chant anything before?
Usually just Hare Krishna.
Just Hare Krishna. Well, I just say it to myself because we also appreciate and recognize the help and the kindness of others in our lives, and especially in the spiritual path. Any source of inspiration in our spiritual lives, and there may be many. I'm sure each and every one of us has had some source of inspiration somewhere along the line in the direction of spirituality. Be it Jesus Christ, be it Buddha, be it some representative of Jesus or Buddha or Krishna or some representative, be it who they may, somebody. We always show our respect because by their grace we've been able to make some opportunity at least have this little opportunity to progress on the spiritual path. We generally address the main inspirations first before we chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So I'll just sing them to myself. Is that okay? No, you don't have to repeat. I just sing. It only take 2 minutes. This is first one is a little offering of respect to our spiritual guide and teacher, named Srila Prabhupada. He passed away from this world in 1977 in one sense. But it's understood that the saintly persons never really, they just may not be visible to us, but their guidance, their instructions, their inspiration is always there. We can take it anywhere, anytime. It's always available. But from the external vision, you can say they're not physically present. So he's our inspiration. He's the one who brought this Mahamantra primarily to the world. It was chanted by many, but most in the world it was not understood. It wasn't chanted or even heard of. So he's brought it to share with everybody. And it's free, and anyone can take advantage of it, and it also brings unity amongst people. It helps to free us from envy and pride and lust and greed, and so on. Different things which tend to coat our interactions in this world. Do we have a harmonium player?
I think we could do justice now.
Oh. Justice. What justice do I need? I need to be punished. Bring some sense to me. I don't know about that. Of course, instruments are to embellish the sound vibration. They support the sound, just like this drum here, which yesterday, you can play the drum. Mridanga. Do you know this history of the Mridanga? Do you know the history? What do you know?
That specifically meant for dancing.
For dancing, huh? We're going to dance tonight also. Yeah, pretty strict for dancing. I like to dance. I'm sometimes known as the dancing Swami. Keep fit by dancing. It's better than spending money going on a gym and all this nonsense. You sing this mantra and dance. Very nice. It's fun. Sometimes you can't stop yourself. It's very hard. Natural for the soul. And actually on the spiritual plane it said every word is a song. Every word is a song. Every step is a dance. See, children, sometimes it's like that. They're just always naturally free. There's not so much inhibition in their consciousness, not so much contamination. As we grow up, we get all these kind of trips. Types of restrictions come along. Hang-ups. But a little bit of an indication of a child who's kind of free to play, There's no restrictions there. Till the mother or father come along. So, what do you know about the Mridanga? Good for dancing, okay, what else?
It's more specifically related to Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't know how much everyone knows about Lord Chaitanya. It's another name of Krishna, who was former Krishna, who really, let's say, publicly opened up this wonderful process in this age of chanting and dancing. Going back to spiritual platform through chant. I was talking the other day in Brisbane to one young man who met us. We were on the street chanting. Perhaps you've seen us in Sydney chanting. We were in Brisbane on the street chanting. And there's this group of young boys and girls stood in front from England. I went out to talk to them. One of them, Martin, became very interested. He said he lived in a Buddhist monastery. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of purposes similar. There's a lot of practices similar. We recognize that. But there are certain things which are kind of like a little different. You don't generally see Buddhists jumping up and down, dancing and singing. It's very rare. Not to say that you never do, but it's rare. And he said that was what he experienced. He said he was just feeling inside as he was trying to practice some kind of meditation and so on, but he felt so much desire to express his, let's say, his consciousness in a much more, say, active way in his case, I suppose. And naturally most people do. This again is a very wonderful thing, because you can express this desire for expressing yourself, being active and so on, in a way which enhances our spiritual progress also. Chanting, singing, dancing, even feasting. Maybe afterwards there'll be some, maybe having a little snack afterwards. Little snack. Don't run away. Maybe there'll be a slice of bread or something afterwards, a cup of water or something. Nice treats for you. Yes, because when we're on the material platform, we can't deny the fact that there's still a desire to enjoy the senses and mind in most cases. So this process, or this methodology is very joyful. Kevalananda Bhakti. It's devotional practice. Very satisfying to the self. Very satisfying. Inatma suprasidati. That means it brings great satisfaction to the self. Great satisfaction. So please join in and share with us also. I'd like to hear your offerings, your sound vibrations of the holy name. And this mridanga, this drum, is not an ordinary instrument in one sense. It has actually come to accompany this chanting. It has have these little cymbals, they're called kartals, made of brass or mixed metals. This mridanga is generally made of clay, but because we're in the Western world and things weather-wise and so on not so favourable, usually they make them out of fibers. This fiber, oh, someone's playing now. Hello, Kitty. Oh, Krishna, good to see you. Musician. Traveled the world singing the holy names of Krishna. And then right now, Govinda Maharaj is in Poland, is that right? Huge festivals. Thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people gather and chant this mantra and dance. Namo Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvasesha Sinyavadi Astijari Shatharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gauravanta Now we're going to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And if you're not familiar, I'll chant first. So we have like a lead and response system. Hear, then chant. Hear and chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You can chant anywhere if you wish, wherever you are. You can chant in the train. You can chant in the plane. You can chant in the drain. In Spain or Ukraine. You can chant if you're insane. You can chant in the lane. You can chant on a crane. You can chant in muscle game. You just keep chanting. And gradually, not only is it for our own welfare, but this movement is really, we just our spiritual master, our spiritual teacher, wish that everybody in the world to become happy, become united on the spiritual platform, to awaken our love and our connection with Krishna, the Supreme Being. This mantra helps to bring us closer to our relationship with that Supreme Lovable Person. God is the highest, He's the Supreme Lovable Person. And the fulfillment of our loving propensity is when we reconnect with Him. And this is the easiest process of that, making that connection. There may be many processes, but this is the most sublime, easy, practical, available to all, not limited by time, place and circumstance. Way of developing that relationship again, awakening that relationship. It's already there in the heart, deep in the heart of our consciousness. That relationship is already there. That full blossomed love simply has to be awoken, just like a lotus blossoms in the sunshine. Similarly in the sun, or in the presence of this transcendental sound vibration, that lotus of love for Krishna, and open and awaken in our heart. We humbly request you all please to take advantage of this little opportunity, and wherever you're going, whatever we're doing, you can chant if you want. And it benefits everyone, it brings auspiciousness to the environment. Besides our own consciousness, it benefits the entire environment. Just like there are beautiful sound vibrations going by right now. Transcendental sound vibrations. If you're really transcendental, you can even experience their transcendental too. Every sound vibration can be carried back, seen back to its original source, but this is direct connection. You don't have to make the indirect one. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. And I think now it's time for bread and butter, is that right?
Yes.
And maybe some water if you're lucky. It's a special honour tonight, there's a little bit of butter available with the bread. Vegan butter? Vegan butter?
I think we have a couple of options.
Couple of
Vegan
options.
and
Okay, so the other choice. Okay. We know in the world today there's a lot of, the same people are realizing that a lot of crazy things are going on in the name of so-called civilization. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, would like to thank you very much for your sweet association and leading us in Kirtan this evening. I know you have an action-packed program in your visit here in Sydney, but thank you so much for taking the time to visit us.
Thank you for, especially Pratapna Prabhu and Jayashri Mataji for facilitating this all.
Absolutely. They're the ones who basically helps us and assist us in our programs at Govinda's, both in the restaurant across the road and in the ashrams.
And inspire us.
Yes.
Can I just say one little thing before? It's regarding Prasadam. We call the food prasadam. You can see everything as Krishna, the mercy of the Supreme Person. You're also His mercy. Everything we see is in relationship with other. Food is especially important to the sustenance of life in this world. And we try to, get the most benefit in that regards. And today, some of us, I think 6 or 7 of us here, we're in a place called Woy Woy. Have you ever been to Woy Woy? Woy Woy. Was it Gosford?
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, there's a very nice place in Watson. Everywhere's nice, depending on how you see it, but that's easier to see that it's kind of nice material. And there's one devotee living there. His name is Toshan Krishna. He's from Bangladesh, but he's been brought up in a village, and he'd go there once in a while. And he's a busy man. He doesn't have time to do much gardening, but in his garden he has trees growing and food plants growing. And he cooks these meals, which are out of this world. Banana flowers, the stem of the banana tree, the peel of the banana, the flowers of the pumpkin, the seeds of the pumpkin. He makes, flour and paste and different things like all these things. Everything is, almost everything from his garden. Only the rice was not from his garden. Everything, all different, just pumpkin, banana, different types of banana, plantain and ordinary bananas, some green vegetables, all simply growing very nice, all totally organic, and some fruits there also. Everything. So amazing experience. Those who were there, who was there? 2 of you were there. Isn't it amazing? And you feel like, it's like, sometimes you say, well, that was a great meal. I think I'll have to lie down for an hour or 2 after that. Jeez. Take me days to recover. But it's like, it just lifts you. It's like basically worshipping Mother Earth. The energy of Mother Earth. It's just incredible. You don't have to. And utilizing everything. The leaves, the stems, the roots, the flowers, everything. We throw out, and it was all served on banana leaf from his garden. Yeah, it's simple, and he's not even growing. He's a very busy man with 3 or 4 kids, and he's working full time. And he's not hardly doing anything in the garden, but just enough to keep the thing going. 90% of the garden's not even growing anything. Doesn't have time, just that little bit. And he hardly buys any vegetables all year round, hardly. It's just, another little way that we can enhance even our lives in this world, or to speak of, and support our spiritual, if we're interested, spiritual growth. You get, it's not pure natural energy as well, pure natural energy, uncontaminated, well, not totally uncontaminated, it's still within this kind of environmental system, but as close as you can get practically in that situation. Just see what you can do. Banana stems. There's a way, there's all sorts of things that can be prepared, which we have no idea. And you mentioned, so they mentioned Lord Chaitanya. In his time, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, these were the things that they would cook. Don't know what they mean, it's all in the Bengali language, but that's what they are. He knows how to cook all these things. It's absolutely incredible. And he cooked outside on wood. It's just, it can be done. You don't need a lot of space. Maybe difficult here, I don't know how big your garden is. Maybe you haven't got one, I don't know, in the city. But, it's just an example of simple little thing, and somebody may be doing it. Doesn't cost much. Hare Krishna. Simple living, high thinking. Hare Hare Krishna.
Okay, everyone, we're just about to serve some food. But just before we go, I just wanted to say a quick thank you as well to all the beautiful musicians for the performance, and a special thanks to the residents of both ashrams. The last 2 or 3 hours they've been doing a lot of preparation for this food, for this dinner, and to prepare it for everyone. So thank you so much. And yeah, make yourself at home, and we're just about to serve the dinner. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.